Okay, I'm going to do a presentation here today. It's going to be brief. It'll only take about maybe 6 or 7 minutes, hopefully, but the power of the MLS search that MyRealPage can provide to VREB realtors, and it is pretty substantial, as you're going to see here in a moment. Now, before we begin, I just want to introduce a couple of somewhat technical terms that you may or may not be familiar with to make it easier for you to follow along. The term reciprocity and IDX are the same thing, but for the purpose of my demo here, I'm just going to call it an IDX search. It doesn't require a login or a sign up. The public can come look at listings and not have to create an account in order to do so. Now, if they want to look at listings in another area called a virtual office website or a VOW, they do have to create an account. So I'm just going to call it a VOW from now on and IDX. And I'll go back and forth between the pros and cons between the two. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to show you what a standard IDX listing looks like. So I'm just going to grab this one here. You can see the photos are big. They can even be bigger, but you get the idea. Photos and listing, well, the listing will load automatically directly from the board and stay up to date every couple of hours. And it will load full public. So it will display pretty much everything you see in Matrix. So it's going to definitely have more MLS data than looking at the listing on realtor.ca or in the IDX. Okay, so let's scroll down. It's a bunch of things that they can do down here. It's pretty standard fare. And I'm just going to keep scrolling down. Now, if they want to look at all the MLS data, as I said here in a moment, they have to sign up in that area called a virtual office website or a VOW. Okay, so let's go look at a VOW. Lots of rooms in that place. Let's go look at the sign up form. So it doesn't take a lot of effort for them to create that VOW account, just their name, email address, phone number, and a password, and a couple of other things. These aren't required fields, but if they want to fill it out, they can. Are you working with a realtor, yes or no? And if they go put this check in here and click sign up, what's going to happen is they're going to be automatically email notified of the very next listing that gets sent to the VREB board that matches the search they just completed. And although I didn't really do an MLS search when I started this, you get the idea. Someone goes to Oak Bay, look at townhouses in a certain price range, bedrooms and bathrooms, and they save the search. That's how they can email notify themselves of new listings. But again, they have to create that VOW account. So let's go back to the top. And I'm going to X out of this listing. And I want to show you something that's also quite unique in our MLS search is the ability for the public to go into a much more detailed MLS search by clicking on the More tab. So they may have very detailed needs, and they can come over here and do a much more detailed MLS search. So the whole idea is to get them to come to your website over and over and tell their friends, and hopefully generate leads. I will clear all the data, that's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and log into my VOW account. And I've created an account as if I am a buyer or a seller. Of course, you get an email when people create the VOW account. Other things that you get emails about also are as if they save a search. If they add a listing into a favorites folder and add comments to the listing, you'll be able to view which listings they've saved and what comments they've added. You will actually be able to read them. Okay, so let's go back into this active listing for a moment and then scroll. Now you can see this is a lot of MLS data. This is everything. They can view this in both imperial or metric. And your contact information will be at the bottom of every listing, obviously. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go grab a sold listing. And here it is. And it's got a little grayish kind of whatever that color is. I'll click on the property. And this is now what the public has access to via your website when they create the VOW account. So they can do a little bit of a price comparison between the list price and the sold price. Okay, now if they want to go and add that listing into a favorites folder, they just click on the little heart thing there, and it's very easy to do. They just click a category. Let's pretend this is a category, and let's say it's sandwich, close to dock. And when they click save, that listing has now been saved into their favorites folder, so they don't have to, drag feature sheets around and stuff like that. So if I click on favorites, here's this is the one that I just added just here right now. So if I go into that listing, you can see my comment right over here. So you'll actually be able to do that as well. So one other feature that's quite unique, I really like a lot, and if I was a realtor, I would definitely use it, is this tool called a predefined search. A predefined search allows you to add tabs to your website based on any category and matrix. If that's the kind of property type or the price range or the area that you want to farm and create the impression that you're the specialist for that area, you could do that. I created one Victoria 1-bedroom condos. Oh, I forgot one more major benefit about the VOW is that they can view 100% of all VREB listings, because it's my understanding that at this moment, only about 90% of the listings are available in IDX. But if they create the VOW account, they will be able to view 100% of all the listings. So if I go Victoria Rock Bay Homes, there they are. So you could actually go and create an individual predefined search for a specific building, a condo building, and display both active and sold listings inside that building, so the public can even go do a further kind of comparison in terms of what listings have gone for and what they're selling for now.